What's going on, guys? So I got some packages today. I ordered a carbon fiber paintball tank from PB Sports. It's a online store. I believe they have a storefront. It's all the way in Indiana. I live in California, so this is like middle of the US of A for me. But I've ordered stuff from them before. Tipman, the Tipex parts, random stuff. I got like a keychain. I've ordered numerous things from them. I've always had good experience with this company, and so I always look at their website. They have a lot of used paintball stuff. Um, so I saw this tank, and I believe last year when I was looking at these, the most I could find, or the cheapest I could find for these types of tanks, are like $160 plus tax at my local shop. Or if I find them on eBay, they're out of date on the hydro stamp, or they don't come with a regulator on the top. A couple like positives, negatives with that. You could put your own regulator, but then you have to buy it. And usually, the cheapest I see these for just the tank by itself is like 120, maybe 110, maybe. But this was complete. It's not out of date, and it's in this box. So I already looked at it a little bit earlier. I just want to show you guys I got this, and I'm not sponsored by anybody. I bought this out of my own pocket with my money, and it's got the good old US of A flag on it. Pretty sure it's supposed to be like scratched like that. This is a scratch, and there's a little bit of like bonnet damage right there. That's not going to affect how it performs. Supposedly they tested it and it's running about 850 psi, so I will test that. This is a lot lighter than those fat tanks over there. I believe this is probably 2 pounds, maybe. And those two big ones, the gray one and the black one, those are probably like 2.5 pounds. I have an even bigger tank than those. These are aluminum tanks. This is carbon fiber. So this holds more air than those, and I could probably dial up the regulator, but I'm going to leave it alone for a little while. 850 should be good enough for what I'm using this for. 68 cubic inches and 4,500 psi capacity. That's how much pressure this can hold. All of these HPA tanks, no matter what size you get, if they're aluminum, the most they can go up to is 3,000. So that one says 3,000. I'm pretty sure somewhere on this tank it says 3,000. Most of the time they're 3,000, the capacity. So if I was to get a 3,000 psi aluminum tank, the same size, it'd be like 92 cubic inches, which is almost double this. So it'd be like, let me fix my camera real quick. I got it all bent, all stupid. Let me get my big tank. I'll be right back. All right, so this is a 62 cubic inch, 3,000 psi. This is 68 cubic inches. It's shorter. It's a lot fatter. It's thicker. Doesn't weigh as much as that one. And if this was equivalent to this thing, because it's a 4,500 psi capacity, like pressure that can be held in this, it's basically 50% more pressure and a smaller size. So if I do that 62 CI and I add 50% to it, it ends up being like 94 or something like that. That's how many CIs. It'd be like a 94 CI 3000 tank. They don't even make those. It'd probably be like that tall, and this already weighs like almost 4 pounds. It'd probably be about this tall, and it'd probably weigh close to 6 pounds or something like that, because it's so big. But I've always wanted one of these. I've been looking for a long time. So I will be using this in the videos. It will hold more air. I'm going to leave this at whatever pressure output it is for now. I'll probably fill it up a couple times. I have like 2 more years for this hydro date. So this was $105. If I got a brand new one, it's like almost $200 for a brand new one. Probably closer to like $220. This was $30. This was $25 or $20. This was $25. I'm pretty sure. Usually when they're on sale, they're close to their hydro date. So I'll probably have to get these, either throw them away or buy new ones, because sometimes it's cheaper just to buy new ones than to get it retested, because the retest is like $60, maybe $50. There might be some places that have it for cheaper, but from what I found, it's about $50 to $60. If I could just buy a new tank for like $25 or $40 with a 5-year test date re-up, I'm better off just buying a new tank. So yeah, this one's still good for like about another year or about 8 months or something. But I'll see how it goes. These tanks are cheap. My CO2 tanks, they're a little bit shorter, not as round, but this is CO2, so it's not the same as HPA. It's all depending on how full it is, how warm it is, stuff like that. But this does work better in some launchers, especially if they have restrictions and stuff. The Beeman BP50, the Salt Supply S2, my Tippmann A5, my Tippmann TCR, the Tippmann Tip-X, this works better in those than these. Even if these are putting out like 1100 pressure or 1000 psi, this thing just does better because it's CO2. It just behaves differently. So that was the first thing, carbon fiber tank. The second thing I got from Amazon, and I know a lot of people like to go for dual output heavy balls and stuff, but I know that there's a few people that like lightweight stuff, and that's what I bought. I got some cat beds for the pets, so those will just be over there. It's a bunch of random shit getting all over the place, foam or something. Anyways, I got these. I haven't seen any content on these. One guy said they were 3 grams, like in a review he did. He put like pictures and stuff. He said they were 3 grams, and sorry about this camera, I'm trying to fix it. Weighed about 3 grams and 6865 on his bore checker. I shot them outside really quick because it was getting dark and cold a little bit, and I actually recorded this after the shooting demo, so at the time I didn't remember what these bore sizes were and stuff, and you'll see all that shooting footage after this. I'll try to keep this short. It's going to get a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So these are just like T4E quick access balls and other random stuff from Amazon. Jawbreaker riot balls are the black ones, and I only shot the white ones in the video that you'll see after this. But these are Lambid store nylon balls. These are all pretty much 3.6 grams, and they have a small bore size on the gauge checker thing. So I'll show you guys how much these weigh and compare them with the Byrpo Kinetic balls. This is all I have left of Byrpo balls, unless they go on like a crazy sale. Probably not going to buy any more, or if I get gifted some or something, I'll take them. But I don't really. I use the lightweight stuff, like kind of if I'm outside the house, I'll use it. But when I'm running these tests on, at home on my channel, I usually just use the heavy stuff. So that's Byrpo ball, weighs 2.94. That one does. Here's another Byrpo ball that weighs 2.92, 2.99, 2.99. So like on the low side 2.92, and on the high side almost 3 grams, which is kind of what I thought they were. I think in my Joule calc, or when I made the shooting video, I said they were about 3 grams, which seems to be true for most of these except for like 2 of them. There's a third one that's a little bit lower, but yeah, I'd say like 2.99, pretty consistent at that weight. 2.93. Just a few of them have been a little under, but they're over 2.9, but they're not quite 3 grams. So I'll probably just say 2.95, and I'll put that in as my Joule calculation. Here's the bore match, or bore check on those. I'll just use this little caliper thing. So this is 680 at the very top, or 679, I should say, not going through. 682, not going through. 684 goes through. Don't really have to force it through too much. I do have to spin it a little bit. So I'll do 685. And that goes through really easy. Like I hardly even have to push this. I feel like 687 would be a little bit of a stretch to say these are 687. So I'll turn this off really quick. Second burner ball, 684 went through pretty easy. 685, like no force at all to push that through. So they're almost 684. They kind of go through with some turning. Sometimes they put up a good little resistance. Do one more, 684, just not really going through. 685, kind of a little bit better. Do one more. 685, yes. 684, kind of. Yeah, I'll say they're mine are 685. Here is the Byrpo. The container is kind of flimsy. It's not the greatest. This is an actual Byrna container. It feels a lot sturdier. It's almost the same sturdiness. The lid is the big difference. So this lid's the Byrpo lid. It's kind of flimsy. The Byrna lid, it feels a little bit more better constructed. No one really cares about a lid, but if you cared, these have a little bit of like seams on them and stuff, little nubs kind of showing. This is just the batch that I got. They have an orange colored one and they have these green ones, but yeah, there's a little bit of imperfections. See what they weigh. 3.0, 3.0, 3.01, 3.0, 2.99. So they're pretty consistent so far. 3.0. I weighed a few of these before I did the shooting just so I had an idea of what the weight was, so I didn't sound like a fool when I'm shooting them. So yeah, pretty much 3 grams. I weighed like 8 or 9 of them. They were 2.99 and some of them are 3, and that's kind of what it seems to be still showing. 2.99 to 3 grams. So yeah, they're pretty consistent at 3 grams. And I'll do the bore check for you guys real quick on this little gauge. 682, nope. Kinda, but I gotta spin it. So one thing I kind of noticed, I don't know if they're kind of oval shaped a tiny bit, like they're not perfectly symmetrical, like a sphere. 685, kind of. I had to put a lot more force on that. 687, see some of them kind of, this is just the first one, but you'll see they kind of like get hung up. So I feel like they might not be a perfect circle. Kind of like those the Byrna Eco Kinetics, because I had some a long time ago. I already shot them, but they were not circle shaped. They're kind of like oval, kind of oblong, weird shape to them. But I'm pretty sure I had like one of the first batches kind of those. 684, so that one went through 684, and this is kind of apparent in the shooting of these. The speeds are kind of consistent, but I think because I think they're a little bit oblong or oval shaped, they're kind of not going through this, and they're kind of inconsistent with how they are fitting through here. So sometimes they fit through it and sometimes they don't, or if I turn it a certain way they fit through, but not all of them are like this one can easily go through the 684 when I hold it like this, but if I turn it a little bit it doesn't want to go through. So that tells me it's kind of like wonky shaped a little bit, but they're cheap. They're like half the price of a Byrna ball, because those 95 of them, which is the same exact amount that you get from Byrna, is $17.99. And the Byrna ones are like, I think the cheapest I've seen them was $43, but they're usually like $50. They are small, or not small, they're lightweight. So yeah, they're kind of a little bit weird. So yeah, I don't know what to say these are. They're 685 or 687. That's where they easily kind of fit through. But yeah, I shot these about 10 or 20 times. Speeds were kind of inconsistent. But I'll show you these lastly really quick. the 3.6 gram cheap stuff from Amazon. All right, so these are like on Amazon and like local paintball stores. My shop, Ann's Gear, has these. PB Sports has these. Rockstar Tactical, I think they have these. Discountpaintball.com has these. Everyone has these. So these are T4E quick access balls. That was 3.59 grams. 3.6 grams. I've used these a lot. I have like a bag extra in my room, or maybe 2 bags extra. They're cheap. They're good little plinkers. They don't bore match well with a lot of stuff, but if you just want to shoot something, this one's all random, really lightweight. This might be one of the Duke ones. I had them kind of mixed in with that. 3.57, 3.6, 3.49. I'm not sure why those ones are so weird. So these are Lambid Store pink balls, 3.67. Get another one. I'm running out of these. I've shot a lot of them, cracked a lot of them, lost a lot of them. 3.65. I've had these pink ones for like a year now. These are Jawbreaker riot balls, 3.63 grams. Another one, 3.65 grams. So they're pretty much 3.6. You got a couple oddball ones that are a little bit bigger, a little bit lighter, or whatever. So let me put all this over here. Clean this off. Close this thing. And these were pretty much like 680 the last time I looked at them. 679 not working. 682 going through easy. 6879. This one kind of goes through. This might have been that smaller one, the 3.44 gram one. So these are small. These are not 685, 684, 687. These are easily going through. 682, I don't have to like turn them a certain way. So yeah, these are probably either 682 or 680. So they're exactly, 68 caliber. They're not bigger or smaller. So yeah, that's these. That's the weights. That's the bore. They almost perform the same as far as joule output. I think the heavier ones have a little bit higher joule value, but the speed goes down, and that's pretty normal for most of the launchers I have. All right, guys, so you will see a video with these being used. These ones were a little bit slower than the Byrnas. I think it was because of the weird shaped balls and the seams and the little nubs on them. Maybe they'll make these better in the future. But I've seen these in the Amazon store for a little while now. Haven't ordered them yet, but ordered them, and these perform how they always do. A little bit slower because they weigh more, but I don't know what the joule values are right now, but I'll put them in the video. I just filmed that shooting video outside, and I came in here. To film the sizing and bore and all that stuff. So I'm using this on a CO2 tank with the airline modified. And then this is also a 16 joule version, valve block removed, restrictor is in the handle, but I'm using this so I wasn't getting slow speeds. I was getting pretty good, I think around 20 joules or so, 21 possibly. But you'll see that video. Thanks for checking it out. I'll be using these on the Salt Supply. I'll try them in the Saber, but I think they're too big. And what else do I have? HDB might be too big. These balls might be too big for the barrel. And I have like my Tippmann Tip-X, and I have my A5. So I'll try them on those things, see what they do. Thanks for checking it out. See you guys next time. And yeah, I'll be definitely filling this up and shooting the crap out of it. Like all my other tanks, I have one other CO2 tank and 2 little HPA tanks, like the little 13 CI ones. So yeah, another guy to add to the collection right there. See you guys next time, or watch the next segment, I guess.